When Cody was growing up, he was into everything, running all the time, just doing everything in the world, the light of our life.
Cody was always fun, loved life, just a mischievous little boy, always getting into something.
Cody was my first grandchild, my first grandson. My husband and I were so proud of him.
Say it wasn't like your typical big brother and little brother. We didn't ever fight. He was always more like a dad.
When I was growing up, I started playing baseball when I was a young kid and played t-ball and all the way up through college.
Quarterback of the football team. He was a leader. He always was a leader.
He was an outstanding baseball player, a catcher.
I'd probably have a better chance of going to college if I tried to play baseball, so I tried out and received a college scholarship to play baseball at Henderson State.
When he turned 21, he had always wanted to join the military. And with the baseball future really looking good, something that we just tried to discourage.
I just felt I'd always wanted to serve because my grandfather, he was in the Navy in the Korean War, and seeing him and what he went through back then and seeing all the Vietnam veterans that I had known growing up and hearing their stories and what they'd been through, it just really gave a strong urge for me to serve and do my part.
He got so many of the Navy things that my husband had brought back, and he was just always knowing about the Army.
I've known Cody all of his life. He had a desire for the military and scared his family to death. Cody, if you're going to consider joining the National Guard, why not my unit? And you don't know anyone in any other units, and heck, I'd love to add.
Cody absolutely loved everything about the military. The old adage of join the Army and be all you can be, that was Cody Culp.
You want me to go?
Yeah, you go ahead.
Okay. I had a crush on him when I was in the 6th grade. Yeah, 6th grade. So I didn't want to ask him if he would take me for a ride. He came up and asked me if I would go. He had a Harley and just gotten it.
She got on the bike with me, and we come to a stop sign, and then when I got to the stop sign, I took off and pretty much give it everything I had. And she was either going to fall off the bike or she was going to wrap her arms around me and hold on. So she wrapped her arms around me and held on.
She came in and said that she'd been on a motorcycle, and we weren't too excited about that. And then she said, when we asked her who she was with, she said Cody Culp. And then when she left the room, we both high-fived each other because we knew that this was a situation that was going to be okay.
One ride, he was hooked.
I told all my friends, like the next day, that I was going to marry her.
I locked my keys in my car in Ruston, which was 2 hours away, and he said he would come and bring me my spare set, and then he asked me to marry him that night. We only dated for 2 months before we got engaged, and 9 months later we got married, and I was just ready to get married. I wanted to be with him.
And Audrey always had a good time. When we get our time off, we ride the motorcycle a lot and cook food on the back porch. We were always smoking meat and cooking ribs and everything.
Cole's 4. He's very fun, energetic, loves his dad, wants to do everything with daddy. Tate is a mommy boy. He loves his mommy. This new baby, we'll see. We'll see how this goes.
When he was 16 days old, that's when I had to leave to go to Afghanistan. So it was tough knowing that day was coming, that I was going to have to leave him. And then when he finally got there, I had to leave when he was 16 days old. So it was real hard to leave Audrey with him.
got a call that Cody was hurt.
There's an area where we had been doing some construction for this village, and that's where we got hit by an IED. It was there in the ground where it had been freshly, packed around and freshly dug in with the construction crew that had come through. So that's where they used the area to ambush us out there. And
nobody really had any answers, how he was or where he was, when he would come home, if he would come home. So I was just miserable waiting to know.
We got the call that his armored vehicle had hit an ID.
He said, "Dad, they like the guy, but I'm going to be okay. Son, we love you. If there's anything we can do, just let me know, son."
I remember when Cody got hurt. His main concern was about his family.
He got a call through to us. It came through at 3 o'clock in the morning. He said, "Grandpa, I'm in a bad shape."
I don't know, I didn't eat, I didn't sleep, but just them, everybody being around and helping was really nice, is what got me through.
I remember one of the things that he said was that he just hoped if anything happened that he wouldn't lose his arms. He wanted to be able to hold Audrey and his son Cole.
I remember just looking around, and two of my guys were gone. I couldn't find them, and I was just real confused. And I remember waking up there, I could just hear a lot of screaming and hollering, and I remember I was screaming and hollering. I remember looking down, and I was bleeding pretty bad out of my legs, so I had to put a tourniquet on my right leg, and I couldn't get to my tourniquet because I was wedged in the vehicle. So one of my soldiers, it was a good friend of mine, he came up and he said, "Hey, sir, we're going to take care of you now. Just waiting to hear those rotor blades coming." And so he got me my tourniquet and put it on my leg so it quit bleeding. And then he handed me another one, and I put it on my other leg and was good to go. And then we started getting us out of vehicles and taking care of the guys that were hurt worse than I was. And I was just real confused. And I looked up, and my commander, he was there beside me in the truck, and he was unconscious. And I just remember thinking, what had happened, and was it a training event or was it real? I just really didn't remember where I was at. I told my soldiers, I said, "Hey, y'all be careful. I'll see you when you get back home." My little boy that was 16 days old got to get to see me again.
Nobody really had any answers, how he was or where he was, when he would come home, if he would come home. So I was just miserable waiting to know.
They were able to fly me back home to get to Fort Sam Houston and San Antonio. And that's where I got to see Audrey and to see Cole. And it was like the best thing in the world to see her and Cole. She was holding him, and he was just a little fat baby. And he came right to me and held me like he'd never missed me a beat.
The next few months were weird. He went from being what I thought was completely perfect to broken, and I had to
being honest, it's tough. There's a lot of things that she needs help with that I can't help her with a lot of times, and
I took for granted the little things that he used to do, like standing on a ladder, changing a light bulb, and taking out trash, and just doing manly things around the house, because then I had to do it.
And I think about, Cody saying to me one time, Mom, a lot of my buddies, their wives didn't stick with them. And she is an amazing young woman. She is strong, and just they've been in this together.
And I'm so proud to have her as my wife. What she's done for me and our babies has just been great. I couldn't ask for a better wife.
Then he's pretty much good to go, do whatever he needs to do for a short period of time. Then he has to rest because he's tired and his legs hurt. So we just have to take it step by step.
I got to know Cody through his injuries. You never hear him complain. And I think that's the thing that attracts me to Cody more than anything else.
If you need help, you should be able to ask for help and get help.
That we're here. There are people here that want to help them.
It might take years for a person to get either the help they need physically, or whether it's something to make their house accessible or whatever. It could take years sometimes.
The bureaucracy, the bullshit, I don't know why it doesn't get done, starts to set in.
And they have to keep going and keep going and keep going to get it. And they never can get help. They just give up on it because they're tired of dealing with it. And you just get so frustrated.
There's an alarming rate of suicide in veterans at 1 every 65 minutes takes their own life.
It's so hard. To me, it just needs to be something on a small level where I can talk to so-and-so and he can say, you know what, Cody, I'm going to find some way to help you out. Or I can say, hey, I'm going to help you out some way,
Not just the soldier's family, the wife, the children.
We can make a difference, one wounded warrior at a time. Become involved in Operation SAW and help us help others in Arkansas.
We're here to improve the lives of Arkansas wounded warriors. With your help, we can do that.